the biggest obstacle to exchanges opening in the U.S., bringing a lot of that Bitcoin liquidity back into the U.S., the innovation, the jobs, the economic growth. The biggest barrier is from the banking industry, who so far there's been a chill. It's very difficult for those companies to get bank accounts right now, and it's creating a real problem.
You know, something that's not really talked about, Mark, is that young people who are wanting to build or buy their first home, they're absolutely saddled with loan debt. So that car that you expect to buy, or maybe a home that you expect to buy, you're going to postpone. That'll have an impact. And obviously the soft economy doubled the number of unemployed people who are discouraged, who've left the workforce. And you have a modestly hopeful sign ahead of you. The sun hopefully is coming up, but there are still some dark clouds on the horizon.
I think unwinding is not going to be that difficult if you think about the fact that we are still in a low inflation, low interest rate environment. The risk, of course, is that inflationary expectations become untethered. But I think if that risk was beginning to become apparent in bond markets or through other financial market indicators, the Fed would move very aggressively.
There's a very good reason why the nuclear option hasn't been deployed until today, and that's because the threat that, turnabout is fair play. At some point, there will be Republicans in the White House, and Republicans will be in the Senate again. And I think it's just incredibly short-sighted of Harry Reid and Democratic allies not to acknowledge the fact that they've opened the floodgates to retaliation.
It's not only the Fed's balance sheet that's at issue here, but it's other central banks as well. When you put it all together, there's been an absolutely huge explosion in liquidity in financial markets. So the Fed is but one piece of this bigger puzzle that has to be unwound.
One of the big keys is loosening up small businesses. Right now they're sitting on the sidelines. There's a lot of cash sitting on corporate balance sheets, but there's no incentive at this point to put that money to work. We see even in the latest GDP report, businesses are still very hesitant to put cash to work in terms of structures, equipment, and employees. Until we start having pro-growth, pro-business policies, I think we're going to continue to see small business remain very hesitant to hire. And remember, that's 80% of hiring in the United States. It's not the big guys, it's the little guys.